case anybody ever wonders what I do before I film my videos, now you know. You've all heard the buzzword going around, but what the heck is this magic pause? To put it bluntly, a lot of baby sleep issues stem from parents rushing in as soon as they hear their baby make a peep. We have some parents who jump into the baby's room as soon as they hear the baby make any sound whatsoever, and then we have the other parents who are glued to their baby monitor and they jump in the room as soon as they see their baby moving or rolling around. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is sabotaging your baby's sleep. You are sabotaging their ability to self-soothe, and why would your baby continue to self-soothe if they know that you're just gonna rush in there? And then you're gonna be up every 2 hours at night wondering why your baby can't fall back asleep independently, and this is exactly why. Because you're not letting them. Because you're assuming that because you hear them making noise, maybe you hear them let out a cry, that they need you. And I know that this comes from a place of love and obviously like being your child's parent and thinking that you need to help them do everything because they are these helpless little babies. You know, the first few months of your baby's life, yeah, you do need to help them do every single thing. And most of the time that does include a lot of frequent night wake-ups and a lot of feeding and a lot of helping them fall back asleep in that way when you need to feed them and then they fall back asleep while you're feeding. But as they get older, their needs change. And a lot of times it's kind of difficult to recognize when those changes take place and when can we give them more independence. I like to use 4 months old as a good rule of thumb that once your baby is 4 months old, we can start implementing this magic pause. And I hate even calling it the magic pause because truth be told, there is no magic in sleep. There's no magic in sleep training. There's no magic in babies learning how to sleep independently at all. There's no magic trick. Everyone always, not everyone, but a handful of potential clients always say, well, like, what's the magic? What's your magic, like, fairy dust that you like sprinkle on the baby? There is no magic. Just give it a pause. Just pause. Before you rush into your baby's room, give them 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking, 5 minutes. It takes your baby's brain 5 minutes to realize that they're even awake, because what happens is when your baby is going through their sleep cycle, they're going in a light sleep and then a deep sleep and then a light sleep again, and then they're transitioning to the next sleep cycle in which they're going to be in a light sleep, deep sleep. So you see how those cycles happen, and when your baby is in a light sleep, it's a lot easier for them to make noise, cry, let out a shriek or something, but it doesn't even mean that they're fully awake. It might just mean that they are transitioning from one sleep cycle to the next. They make some noise just like adults do. If you have a partner that you sleep next to, I am 100% certain you at some point have heard your bedmate making noise in the night. Maybe they're grunting as they roll over, maybe they're rumbling or ruffling around the bed sheets, maybe they're searching for pillows. That's exactly what your baby is doing, and all we need to do is give them the space to do so. Implementing this magic pause can be done during nap time, middle of the night wake-ups, even when they're falling asleep at bedtime. You may think that your baby is distraught and they need you just because they're crying a little bit, but we have to remember that babies cry. This is how they communicate, and it doesn't always mean that you're not meeting their needs. You know if your baby needs something, and if you give them 5 minutes to fall back asleep or fall asleep in the first place, you may be surprised that you might not need to do this big dramatic sleep training process. You might just need to give your baby a little bit of space. Now, something that I have seen time and time again is when parents are co-sleeping or sleeping with the baby in a bassinet next to their bed, saying nobody's getting sleep. Everybody's up every 2 or 3 hours. This is gonna be so hard. I don't know how to handle this because we're going from co-sleeping. We wanna get the baby in the crib in their own room. What do we do? And 9 times out of 10, once the baby has space and they're not listening to you transition through your sleep cycles all night, your baby will sleep through the night because we're humans. We want our own personal space. So don't be afraid to make transitions. Don't be afraid to pause before you go in to tend to your baby. You definitely will know the difference between whether or not your baby needs something or they're just transitioning between one sleep cycle and the next. Okay, I wanted to read you this post that a mom put in a Facebook mom group, which I am going to say, let's just avoid doing any like Facebook mom group posts, because like this mom, you are going to get so many different answers. Stick to one resource, okay? Like follow my channel, look up all the things that you were wondering about, and do not post in mom's groups because you're just gonna get 1,000 different opinions. But anyways, so this mom posted in the Facebook mom group saying, do babies have bad dreams or get loud in their sleep? My almost 7-month-old has recently started sleeping in his crib all night, but will wake me up a few times a night, but what I think is crying. By the time I start to head to get him, he's stopped and is asleep. I don't know if he's actually waking or if in 2 nights he's learned to self-soothe that quickly. Listen, your baby learned how to self-soothe that quickly. Babies are loud. And when you pause and you just give them 5 minutes before you get out of bed and think that you need to go help your baby, just pause, wait and see what they do, because babies are smart and babies are able. And especially this baby who is 7 months old, that baby is capable of self-soothing. And since the mom said that the baby just started sleeping in the crib all night in their own room, I am telling you, this baby was ready for that transition. They were ready for independence. They were ready for space. And now they are able to sleep through the night, self-soothe, maybe make a little bit of noise while they're transitioning from one sleep cycle to the next. But they're doing an amazing job. And the fact that even before mom gets to the room, that the baby is done crying and is back asleep is a great sign. I hope this video was helpful for you, and I would love for you to download my free baby sleep guide. I have a lot of information in there about how to help your baby become an independent sleeper without sleep training strategies. So this is going to help you set up the perfect sleep environment, make sure your schedule is on point, and give you other tips and tricks on how to help your baby sleep more consolidated through the night. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in my next one. Keep blooming. Mwah.